Hello Year 2, welcome. It's Wednesday the 29th of April 2020 and this is part 3 of our science. So today we are going to be looking at identifying trees and shrubs. Okay, so just why I'm thinking about it here, this is the last science lesson of this week. So tomorrow you have got PE. And on Friday you have art. So I expect you to keep watching the videos and also complete the homework. Remember, Year 2, email them to us and we can mark the homework. Okay, and if you want a special shout out or if you want to show us some work, feel free to email that in and we can actually show those pieces of work for you. Okay, back to our lesson. So actually, before we go back to the lesson, we have covered, let's do a quick recap. So we've covered our flowers. I don't know if you can see that. The colour is not really brilliant. Okay, so hopefully you've gone out. They were nice days on Monday and Tuesday. Not so nice today, I'm afraid. But hopefully you've gone out and had a look. So I've had some fabulous work in already. Keep it up, Year 2. So these are the flowers we've had a look. We've also had a look at our local environment, our natural habitat. So we've had a little scavenger hunt. Remember, we were talking about what insects and how plants, they depend on each other, the little micro habitats. So we've had a look at that. So hopefully you have completed that sheet in for me. You know who you are. If you haven't, I want to email to me, please. Make sure you do that. That would be brilliant. Okay, back on to today's lesson. So we are going to identify trees and shrubs. So how do we do that? I don't even know most of the trees. In fact, most scientists don't know almost 3/4 of the trees that are over there in the world. Okay, so why are we interested in trees? Trees are really fun. Remember when we looked at materials and all the uses that we could use out of trees? There was so many that we could use in wood. But let's look at the fun facts of trees. Now I want to show you something that is really fun. Okay, I'm going to look at my head. There we are. Oh, there we are. There is our, before we go on to that, sorry, Mrs. Lang, let's look at our learning intention for today. So the learning intention today is identify the name and variety of trees and shrubs. Remember our success criteria. Again, Mrs. Lang has put it in colour. So if you're not so confident, ask a parent if you can just do 1 or 2 trees, amazing. It's the effort. It's always the effort. Year 2. Okay, if you can name some of those trees on your own, brilliant, using your ID sheets, that's even better. If you want to extend yourself and be a bit more creative or learn a little bit more, write some information next to your leaf. You can also use ID sheets and books, okay? That will really help you to identify them. Again, remember Mrs. Lang's website. There's lots of information on flowers and trees to be had on there. Right, fun fact time. Okay, let's have a look. She says, there we are. Brilliant. Okay, now I've got to move my bobble head along. There we are. Right, okay, so I know that some of you have been to London and you have seen Big Ben. Now, it's enormous, isn't it? But it's not as enormous as some of the trees in the world. In fact, the largest trees can be found in California. They're usually part of the redwood and sequoia forest. And they're called the ancient kings of the forest because they are so big. Now, we have some big trees in this country, but actually the trees that come into our country are not native, or the largest one. What I mean by native is they are not originating from this country. They're usually brought over, usually from America. And so we have some of these large, brilliant sequoia trees, but they are not native to this country. Again, look how big that tree is. To put it in some perspective, or let's have a look to see how wide they can actually be as well. Wow, have a look at that. I think I would need at least 2 classes from year 2, hand in hand, and you might just be able to link hands at the end of it. That is enormous. Go and have a look at some fun facts. I would really love you to have a look and write in about what fact you have found. Now, it's miserable and it's raining out there, so maybe if you're not going on your walk today, get online with your parent and look at some fun facts concerning these trees. Okay, let's move on. Right, I have something different for you today. We have a little bit of a quiz. Okay, so I have these leaves there. Now they belong to an oak, ash, or sycamore tree. I want you to pause this button and have a look and try and think about what leaf belongs to the oak tree or the ash or the sycamore. Okay, so pause the video now and then we'll have a look. Right, okay, back. Hi, I hope you had a really good think about what you could see. If you've downloaded the sheets, they're going to help you. Right, and the other bit of help we've got here is from some amazing children that have actually sent in their work already, which is brilliant. So in the science world, when scientists study trees and plants, they have a very special name. If you have a look here, where my mouse is, you can see the name here. And it's a botanist, okay? Not a bottom, a botanist, okay? And I would like to introduce some work to you from 3 special botanists that have produced this work and that we're going to have a look what I expect from you. And also they're going to help us with our quiz. So I would love to give a big shout out to Deanna, Joseph and Nahara for such brilliant work that they've put in. Okay, you can see they've already looked at the flowers and rocks, and they've also had a look at certain trees here. Okay, if you can see, they've actually written some detail about the tree, which is brilliant. Okay, if I just go, there we are, close that down a little bit now. So if we're looking at trees and how we identify trees, we usually look through the leaves. Okay, I'm going to make myself slightly bigger now, and I'm going to show you some patterns of trees. Now, I don't know if you can see them on leaf, should I say. So here are some leaf shapes, and these shapes help us to identify the trees. Now, remember, we've already looked at some of the flowers. Get a bit more recap. So we've had a look at the flowers there, and we had a look at petals. Remember we talked about our 5 senses, and I could hear the warning sign, but I don't think you had the warning sign there. But there was a big warning sign about taste. We do not eat the flowers we see, okay? Later on in our science unit, we will be able to look at some of the flowers or some of the plants we will be able to eat. So, again, if we're looking at our trees or shrubs, what help us to identifying is usually the height. We've seen some really big trees that I've showed you, and that's part of the redwood sequoia family, and also the leaves. So I'm going to try and show you the leaves here. If you can see, there's a lanceolate here. They're usually slightly long there. We have a star-shaped leaf here. Can you see that? And we have a linear one. The linear one is just very long and narrow. We have an ovate one here, which is slightly rounded. They're slightly rounded, so they've got lots of spikes on them, but they're rounded spikes. We also have an ovate one, which is usually the most common. I don't know if you can see that there. There we are. And we have a lovely oval. There we are. Sorry that my writing's backward. We have a heart-shaped one there as well. And that's the star-shaped one. So it's using these that have been forwarded to you. So have a look there. Using that information, that will help you identify the trees. Right, back to our quiz and back to our helpers. Right, I'm going to minimize my head. So let's have a look, because there's some very helpful hints here. So we have, this is just a bit more of their work. Look at, they've done some extra work there, which is always brilliant because it shows the effort here. So we have, look at, they've done a hawthorn, we've got a leaf shape here and a hazel. And we also have what we will be looking for our clues. Let's just click onto one piece. So if you can see here, we've got the oak leaf, which is an ovate leaf. You can see it's slightly rounded and it's green. We have the sycamore as well, that's slightly spiky. And we also have the ash, which has got many leaves and they're quite linear, but again, they're quite spiky. So Mrs. Lang is going to go back to our quiz after you've looked at that and see if we can find out which is which. Let's go back to our quiz. There we are. Right, so oak. What did you think the oak was? Right, if you said the oak was the first one, you would be right. Let's see. Oh, I can't move that. So let's go back, Mrs. Lang. Come on, Mrs. Lang. Right, okay, let's go back to the oak here. So if you went back to the oak, you would be right. So let's move that. That would be there. Okay, so our sycamore tree, it's slightly different. Let's see if we can move that. So our sycamore would be over here and our ash would be over here. Let's try and move that. There we are. And let's move our oak down. Right, did you get that right, year 2? Hopefully you did. Okay, did you have fun guessing? I hope you did. Right, we're going to go on to our last slide now. Again, thank you for the great work, our brilliant botanists. Again, Joseph, Deanne and Hara, well done, that was brilliant. Okay, so it's your turn now to explore. Year 2, have fun exploring with an adult. The weather's just stopped raining here, so hopefully, I'm not sure when you'll be using this video. Hopefully it's not raining where you are. So any problems, any questions, have a look. Email us at year2 Grange of Harrow. Again, here's some extra websites you can have a look at. If you need or if you want any more websites, give me an email. I can send them to you. I do expect this work done by the end of the week. I know the weather's not brilliant, so I'm going to extend my deadline to Monday. So all of this work should be done and emailed to me by Monday. Right, let's put me on big head. By Monday. Okay, have a really good weekend, year 2. I won't see you until Monday. Again, we'll be looking at some PSHE, thinking, especially at this sort of time, we might need some sort of support and friendship. So I'll see you Monday. Take care, be safe, see you soon, and put in your work to me. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.